this computer. Awesome. Welcome to the Gemini season workshop. Once again, if you are here live, amazing. If you are watching the download, welcome. You can watch this back at any point in time. It's actually nice to watch things back like, 2 weeks later or 10 days later, or maybe at the end of the season, just to see what we talked about and to see how it actually manifested in your life. I find I'm getting more and more comments on Instagram towards the end of the month now, where people are like, I just watched this back, like their horoscopes. I just watched this back for the second time, and it's crazy to see exactly what showed up and how it came. So it's a good reflection tool. And then it also allows you to sort of be like, oh, last time, this energy was mentioned, this is how it manifested. So I'm going to keep an eye out for it this time. And maybe it's helpful. So by all means, watch this once, watch this 1,000 times, or never again, up to you. It's here. The other thing is, I was asking before we started recording how everyone is feeling. And people are saying intense. Of course, we just had a very deep Scorpio full moon total eclipse, which is massive. I think people, especially if they're not really in this community, are just kind of like, oh, like it's an eclipse, or oh, it's a full moon, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think they recognize the intensity that Scorpio brings. And it is a deep psychological purge. And I want to talk about that a little bit because, yeah, it was so strong. Shoshana is saying in the chat here. And it's like, it's not just, I cried a little bit and like, oh, I got upset, or like, oh, I feel a little, more like my true self. It's like on a deep fucking level, you are actually innately changing and creating a new version of yourself. Like there's no going back. Like you're no longer the person you used to be. You're not going to shrink back into that size. You're not going to, drop your boundaries. We all have hiccups, of course, but like what you demand from people, what you demand from yourself, what you want for yourself, what you think, what you feel, how you feel about the things and the people around you. It's like, it is all shifting. And what is so beautiful is that this eclipse provided us with a reset. A lot of the time moving towards the eclipse, you maybe notice some of the energy is already beginning to reset. Your perspective's beginning to shift. Those old fears, programs, scarcity, ideas, all of those things coming up for release, for purging. After the eclipse, up till, oh my God, it could be 6 months. It could even be a year for some of us, depending on how quickly you process, how quickly you move through the energies. But like in 6 months from now, you will be in a completely new space. You will be a new person if, of course, you continue to work with the energies, put the work in, commit to yourself, your vision, that sort of thing. But what is beautiful is that Scorpio energy is connected to Pluto. Pluto is in retrograde for, I believe, the final time in Capricorn before it moves into another sign. So this is like a deep purge and reset of our foundations, of our true structures, our habits, our belief systems. The reason I'm talking about this is because all of that is tied to the subconscious mind. That's the area of our mind that we aren't even necessarily aware of. Those are like blocked memories. Those are fear programs that have been given to us by family, by friends, by society, by whatever. So the point that I'm getting to is all of those old fears, those old programs that actually influence you every day without you even necessarily recognizing it. Those are now going through a deep purge and reset. That is connected to the subconscious mind. As we now move into Gemini season, which I love because I'm a Gemini, happy birthday to me, and everyone else out there. But like, as I was shuffling, the Two of Wands fell out. This is so Gemini energy because it's about partnerships. It's about connectivity. It's about endless possibilities. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which rules the mind, but the conscious mind. So you can actually use your conscious mind to program your subconscious mind. And what we just went through is a deep subconscious reset, is a purge of the old subconscious programs that run our lives. Now we're moving into a space where we can consciously create new programs in the front part of our mind, in the conscious mind, which over time will just literally convince, you literally will convince yourself, you convince the subconscious mind that these are true, and you kind of fake it till you make it, and it literally works. Like it actually works. That's what affirmations are about. That's what meditation is about. That's what, you go on YouTube and you just listen to like solfeggio frequencies, for example, and you can do like solfeggio frequencies for positive abundance or for releasing fear. And it's like, you can consciously decide to put yourself in a space or in an environment where you will repetitively hear something and listen to something and observe something over and over and over. And eventually that becomes true. That becomes reality. And that will literally then influence the programming in the subconscious, which will then, as you move through life, positively impact you. It'll positively impact you because the subconscious mind is actually ruling the majority of your experience. So if that sounded like a mouthful, maybe rewind, watch the recording of that part one more time, because that is super, super helpful. I know it sounds like a lot. I want to move on because we have a lot to get through. But again, this is recorded. So by all means, rewind, watch it 2 or 3 times, and just lay back and listen until that clicks. This Two of Wands energy, again, is all about partnerships. It's about connecting with community. It's about inviting in other people to share in your dreams, share in your vision. That is to a T what Mercury represents, really, because Mercury is all about connecting the dots and figuring out a new process. And Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So us now being in Gemini season, this is the perfect time to begin working on the mind, working on a new process. Gemini is mutable air energy. So mutable energy is rapidly changing. It's like the wind. Like it literally goes one way and then it blows the next way and then it goes the next way and then it's up and it's down, it's hot and it's cold. And a lot of people think, we'll get into some of the negative aspects of Gemini energy, but a lot of people think that Gemini is very fickle or indecisive, kind of like Libra, but it's like, no, we just see both sides. So it's hard for us to be like, oh, I 100% want this, because if you make a good enough argument, then I'm very easily to be like, no, actually, I totally lie. This person is definitely right. That makes good sense. And then if 30 seconds later, somebody else counters that and is like, did you think about this? Then I could very easily be like, wrong again. You're right. You are not right. So it's just like, and that doesn't mean that I don't know what's going on. That just means that I'm willing to accept all angles of things. That means I'm willing to accept different perspectives and I'm not fixed on what I believe in. I have a very fixed way of, how do I want to say that? Like my morals, my ethics, what I believe to be good, what I believe to be true, what I believe to be, honorable, and what integrity looks like those things I'm quite fixated on, of course, because I have a nice moral compass, I like to believe. But again, like if you want to present me with one thing and then you want to present me with something else, I'm just going to tell you straight up, this one's better. It's just that simple. So I invite you this season to open your mind to alternative possibilities. I invite you to open your mind to alternative perspectives. Yeah, somebody in here is saying that like, oh, they get a lot of negative, comments about being two-faced, but it's no, we actually just see both sides of it. And I totally get that. And sometimes, you don't want to play the devil's advocate, but you're like, this bitch has got a point. So like, how do we find the balance there? And it doesn't need to be black and white, yes or no, right or wrong. It can actually be both at the same time. And that is what we're moving away from as a collective, this idea that things are static, the things are only one way, that it's good versus evil, that it's right versus wrong, that it's boy versus girl. It's like, How many different genders do we have now? How many different ways to identify do we have now? How many different truths are layered into one person's experience with all this intersectionality? That intersectionality is such a vibe with Gemini, because we see all different angles and we see all different perspectives, and we want to know more. That's the other thing, is that we want to ask the questions. So this season, ask more questions, get curious, try new things. We've got, let me see here. Fun, curious, social, excited, exploring, travel. These are all words that are connected to Gemini. Gemini rules the third house in modern day astrology, which is also connected to learning, speech, siblings, neighbors, communities, short journeys, connections, ideas. So like anything that can just kind of expand mentally and expand energetically is very much connected to Gemini energy, very much connected to Mercury energy. So this month, how can you take a step forward in reaching out to someone new? How can you take a step forward in saying, okay, I've always done it this way, but what does it look like if I do it a different way? Or that person does it one way, and I've always thought that maybe that isn't good for some reason. Well, now's an opportunity to say, okay, let me see if I can step into their mind and I can see it from their perspective. I don't think that we need to, and this is where mutable energy gets a little bit difficult, because this is like very classic Pisces energy, which is also a mutable sign. You can lose yourself in other people's decisions. You can lose yourself in other people's perspectives. And then it's sometimes like, oh my God, I didn't even realize how long I've been acting out of alignment with myself, with what I really want, because I'm so adaptable and I'm so mutable that I'm just in this space and the energies are almost moving through me without my choice, without my decision. So make sure this season that you don't get caught up in that whirlwind. Virgo season is also mutable, but I feel like it's not so present with Virgo energy, because Virgo is Earth. So Earth takes time to shift. It's shiftable, it absolutely will change, but Earth takes time. Wind changes very quickly and water changes very quickly. So when you're in an element of water or air and you have that mutable aspect to it, like Gemini or Pisces, true, somebody's talking about fire. Yeah, fire as well. Fire is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I love Sagittarius energy. If you've ever dated like a low vibrational Sagittarius individual, they will be like, I love you. And then you won't ever hear from them again. So like that type of like, are you here? Are you not here? What is going on? Is like, that water, air, fire, like those types of elements are very in and out, up and down. So be careful with that. It is definitely a positive aspect when you're sitting in a space of brainstorming, creativity. If you were like a manager, or if you're trying to run something and you need to quickly be adaptable, like it's beautiful. That's exactly what we want it for. But what you don't want to do is like, oh, you know, I want to drink less and I want to just like stay home and organize myself. And then your roommate's like, oh, let's go for drinks. And you're like, I'm down. And then you're out and you're like shit faced. And you're just like, wait, why am I out here? I didn't want to do this. So it's like, just don't get lost in the energy is the point that I'm trying to get across, because it happens. It happens to the best of us. Also, don't beat yourself up if it happens, like whatever. Wake up the next day, shake it off, move on. That's also very Gemini energy. So in the tarot, the main card that is connected to Gemini is the Lovers. And the Lovers card represents, yes, connection, of course. It can be romantic, it can be friends, it can be business. So definitely keep an eye out for new connections this month. Mercury is in retrograde. We'll get into that. So take it slow. Whatever the connections are that show up, take it slow, okay? It might be really exciting, take it slow. It might be a great job opportunity, take it slow, just like step by step. You don't need to like throw everything on pause, but like, don't overcommit, don't get overzealous, don't just like, jump for joy and all your eggs are in one basket. It's like, just take it slow, because you might not see things clearly. Your mind might change about something in 3 weeks. So it's just slow down. Okay. But we've got the Lovers card here, which represents all those connections. Gemini season, new connections. The Lovers also represents choice, because it's a fork in the road. It's like either this way or that way. And each door, let's say you have 2 doors in front of you, whichever door you walk through, there's no right or wrong. It's just going to be different energies, different cycles, different lessons. So make sure when you are presented with an opportunity to make a choice that you're really slowing down, connecting with the breath, and you're thinking from a soul purpose, from a centered self decision-making process, not what does everyone want me to do? What does my parents want me to do? What do I think society wants me to do? It's like, no, what do I really in this moment feel called to do? Because these choices are going to open up cycles that you will have to complete. And that could take 6 weeks, that could take 6 years. So it's like, you definitely just want, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just saying it's like, we have a lot of opportunity to decide this season. Like, do I want to go back into my old ways? Do I want to reconnect with these people from the past? Do I want to go back to this job? Maybe it's not that easy. Maybe we have to go back to the job. Maybe we feel compelled to reconnect with certain people. But you still have a choice within that choice to recreate a new dynamic around that environment, around that person. So you could go back to the job, but you could say, I'm going to sit down with my boss and I'm going to say that I need certain things, or that I'm going to start looking for another job, or I'm going to start, if you need to reconnect with a friend, you can say, okay, I'm going to reconnect with this person, but I need different boundaries. I need them to know that I'm not going to be here for them to emotionally dump, or that I don't want to go out drinking all the time, or that I don't want to be doing X, Y, or Z. Like, you can reconnect with those people. A lot of this comes up with family too. Family is one of the hardest, people to create boundaries with, but it's like the boundaries, the energetic boundaries will allow a new vibration into the space. Sorry, I'm like, they're telling me to talk about the family thing for a second. So the family thing, you don't always need to tell family that you're creating energetic boundaries, because that sometimes gets sticky. It's like, oh, mom, like, you can't do that to me anymore because I'm a grown fucking man. And blah. It's just like, your mom's gonna be like, who the hell do you think you are? You know what I mean? Or maybe she's not. Maybe she's going to sit down and have a great open conversation with you, which would be ideal. But my point is, if it's your cousin, your sister, your brother, your dad, whomever it is that you're trying to set these emotional boundaries with, or these energetic boundaries with, you don't need to always sit down and have that conversation with the person. You can just say in your mind, I'm no longer going to give my power away. I'm no longer going to let this person take advantage of me. I'm no longer going to let this person cross these lines. And when you do that, and you just energetically set that in motion, and you even, maybe meditate on it a little bit or write it down somewhere, you're going to just shift that vibration internally. That is going to change the way that your body, like a radio station, is emitting the signal. It's emitting the frequency. So like, as you now adjust your radio station and you start emitting this new frequency, you are going to get back things that match that frequency, which is going to be better connections to family, or better connections to friends. Or if they're really not at all in your vibration, then maybe it creates space between you and these people. And maybe that's what's needed at this point in your journey, is space from these people, is a little bit of distance, which doesn't mean it's forever. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but it gives you time to focus on what you want and them to focus on what they want. And then at some point you can come back together and communicate. But like, I think what is really important here that they're trying to get through this little blurb is like that boundaries don't always need to be shared. If you can share them, great. If you can tell somebody that you're creating an energetic boundary of some kind, great. But if you can't, or you really, really don't feel comfortable doing it, then at the very least, do it for yourself. Do it for your own mind, do it for your own energetic field, and just watch and see what happens as time progresses and these people begin to create space, and then you have available space for new people to come in that match your new frequency. The Lovers card also represents past versus future. So like, where are we ready to let go of the past? Where are we ready to sacrifice one thing for the other? And what type of behavior, what type of ideas, what type of stories are you telling yourself? Like, what type of stories are you so fucking over telling yourself? It's just like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough, blah, blah, blah. We get it. Like, you're not good enough. Okay, whatever. The story is fucking dry. You are good enough. You get it now. You want to move into higher vibrational connections, people who appreciate you, and that is coming, or you're already experiencing that, but you're still telling yourself you're not good enough, or you can't make it happen, or you're never going to have the money, or it's like, oh my God, aren't you over it? Like, aren't these stories done? Like, Gemini is literally the storyteller. So like, think of a 12-month cycle, Gemini season to Gemini season. What story have you told yourself over the last 12 months that is similar to the story you told yourself 12 months before that? That is similar to the story you told yourself 12 months before that. Like, you've been telling yourself the same fucking story for 36 months. It's like, we get it. Enough. Let it go. Move into a new space and use this time to write that new story. Gemini is the storyteller. So write a new story, tell a new story. And it's like, even if you just tell yourself that story, write that story down. I'm fucking beautiful. I'm fucking wealthy. I am loved. I am in love. I deserve love. I am abundant as fuck. I look great in a bikini. I look whatever the fuck it is. It's just like, write it down over and over and over until you believe it. Because like, trust me, the sooner you believe it, the sooner other people will believe it. And if you're around people that don't believe it, then they're not a vibrational match. They will fall away. That, once again, is you sacrificing these people so that you can invite in people who are on your fucking frequency. That's what this Gemini season is all about. That's why Gemini is about, you know, oh, I love that too. We've got the Death card here. Sorry, I just looked down, so I'm going to pull these out. I've got the Death card and I've got the Page of Coins. So like, Death card being, again, that Pluto energy. We just went through this Scorpio. True, actually, this is a card Taurus. So this is the Scorpio Taurus axis that we are balancing on with the eclipses. And this is that deep shifting, that deep purging of those subconscious programs. And it doesn't feel nice. Like, it doesn't feel nice to lose your mind. Trust me, I lose my mind once a month. Ask Daniela. It's like, I'm a crazy person. Like, but in the background, the sun is here and the sun is coming up, and it's like, oh, there's a new day. There's new life coming as you shift, as you release this. And then you've got here, this little guy who's a Page of Coins, who's ready to invest his time, energy, and money into new soil. It's like the death and decay of these old ways. Like, this old version of yourself is going to be the soil that plants and grows the new version. You know what I mean? Like, without that past version, without those past lessons, you wouldn't have the knowledge or the awareness to be able to move through this new space. So like, the Page is the youngest member of the royal family. He's here with this coin, with the seed, and he's ready to plant, but see how he's not even moving? Like, his feet are not moving. He hasn't taken a step forward yet. He's just thinking. And like, Mercury is in retrograde right now. So like, we're doing a lot of reflecting. And Mercury began his retrograde in Gemini, which started off with a lot of this. A lot of death to our old perspectives, death to our old ideas, death to our old identities, etc. And now Mercury has retrograded back into Taurus, which is this energy, Earth energy, which is saying, okay, without these ideas, who am I? Without these attachments to the outcome, what do I really want? Without the ideas of who I am, how I have to make money, how I have to spend my time, like, we've gone through that process of releasing it. I know it's easier said than done. And it's literally a process. It's like a never ending process because these energies, depending on what you're here to learn, will always come back. They just won't come back with the same power. They won't come back with the same force. They'll come back to you in a new space where you can just see them passing as opposed to grabbing onto the story and living the story and feeling the story again and creating the story again and putting more energy into it and attracting more of it. It's just like, it'll just pass through like a cloud in the sky. So like, as we're moving through this death and rebirth, which will take time, we're also being called to just pause and figure out, without all of this fucking baggage, this mental baggage, without all of these stories and these belief systems, like, what do I really want? And you don't have to decide right now is the beautiful part of it. You don't have to decide. You can decide on your own fucking time. And like, but Chris, I have a job and I need to pay bills. And I mean, it's like, obviously. So like, keep doing your job and keep paying bills, but don't go to that job every day thinking, I fucking hate this job. Why am I fucking here? Just go to that job and say, I'm here to make money so that I can have some money so that I can leave this job and that I can move into a better space. And I can, you know, maybe you're saving up so you can invest into your own company, your own dream of whatever it is. It's like, change the way we look at it, change the way we talk about things, especially when we're in Gemini season. Do you know how powerful your words are? Like as soon as you start speaking something, not only has it gone from an energetic form just in the environment. So there's these energy forms everywhere, right? These are what when they talk about, you know, like little demons hanging off you, energetic leeches and vampires. Those all show up and manifest just as low vibrational thoughts, which basically is you pouring your energy into something that you don't need to think about because it's not benefiting you in any capacity. So like, we have all of these thoughts around us, high vibrational thoughts. I'm beautiful, I'm amazing, I'm rich, I'm abundant. And then low vibrational thoughts. I'm not good enough, I'm trash, I'm disgusting, blah, 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 whatever the stories are. So like, you tune your radio into only those higher thoughts, and I get it, but the negative thoughts come in sometimes. I know, just observe them and let them pass, or immediately say, I'm trash. Cancel, cancel, cancel. I'm a fucking goddess. Cancel, cancel, cancel. I'm a fucking legend. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Because as you cancel, 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 then you're not emitting the frequency back. Once the frequency enters you, you cancel, cancel, cancel it, and it drops. And then you say, instead, I am fucking amazing. And you attract more of that one. So we have all these frequencies flying around us at all times. Tune in your radio station to only the higher frequencies. How do you begin to do that on a regular basis? Affirmations. Like I said, you want to listen to those belief systems over and over. You want to write these things down. So as you have these thoughts floating around and one comes into your mind, I'm abundant as fuck. Perfect. Now when you speak that out loud, I'm abundant as fuck. The universe has received that. You have literally emitted that frequency from your body. At some point, that has to come back around. It's like a boomerang. Whatever you toss out is going to come back around. So like, that works against you as well. I'm not good enough. I'm never going to leave this stupid job. I'm never going to find love. You're just going to continue to attract and cycle that through your life. So it's like Gemini season, ruled by Mercury, ruled by communication, which is actually really funny because communication is verbal, of course, but Mercury also rules the hands, which I love. So like, deaf people, what are you signing? What is coming off your hands? Like, don't say like, I'm stupid. No, like, I'm brilliant. And you'll attract more. I'm brilliant. It's like, be careful with your words. Be careful with your lips. Be careful with your hands. Like whatever is coming off of you is going to come back to you. We've got, again, Mercury retrograding right now in Taurus. So we need to be very careful about what we're saying because Mercury being communication and Taurus being literal manifestations. Like Taurus is the first earth sign, which is We've gone from an idea to actually showing up in the physical. So like if you have this idea and then you're communicating that out into the world, what is it that you're bringing back in the physical? Like we need to be very careful about that. As Mercury is retrograding in Taurus, we have an opportunity to literally stop right now and to look around and to think, what is manifesting in my life right this moment? What do my relationships look like? What does my work look like? What does my house look like, for example? Like everything. What have I literally manifested? Because what you are looking at right now is a literal 3D manifestation of everything you've been talking about up until now. You aren't looking at right now where you're going to be in 6 months. You're looking at the result of where you were 6 months ago. So like, what have you been saying? What have you been bringing into your life? What have you been attracting into your energetic field? Now we have this opportunity, Mercury in retrograde, to reflect on our thought process, to reflect on how we're communicating, not only to others, but to the universe, and how that is manifesting in our lives. It's in Taurus. It's literal manifestation. So like, use this time. And I believe Mercury retrogrades until like June, I think it's June 4th. It's the first week of June for sure. And then there's a 2-week shadow period. So like by the last week of June, we'll be really in the clear for moving forward, starting that new cycle of like speaking into existence, really what we want. But until then, from now and say for the next like 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, like just to really stop and reflect. Like you don't need to decide right now. This guy's not going anywhere. Neither is this guy. There's no movement whatsoever. He's standing, dreaming, thinking. He's standing, dreaming, thinking. And then we're going to take action. So like wait until mid-July because like the speed is going to really pick up. We also have Mars in Aries now, which is going to be like, there's a lot of motivation. There's a lot of reestablishing our identity, of fighting for what we want, of protecting our vision. But if your vision is changing, if you look around and what you have manifested is not what you want to be manifesting, then now is a time to use this mutable energy, this Gemini mutable air energy to just shift the dialogue, to shift the conversation, because that will in turn, in 6 months from now, show you the results of those shifted conversations, and you'll be in a much different place. You got to do a little bit every day. It's not easy, I know, but like, it's fucking worth it. I promise. Okay. Gemini is also connected to consuming knowledge. So this is a really good time to just read, study, take new courses, have new discussions, chat with new people. Like, you definitely, you want to get out there. You want to maybe take a day trip or go away for a weekend. It recommends, sorry, I was just reading something in the chat. It represents short-term travel and short distance travel. So that could be nice. Let me see here. What time is it? 6:38. Okay, so we'll do another like 5 minutes and then we'll do, I'm gonna just bring you through a meditation, which is just gonna be kind of like silent. We're just gonna tune in and then I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions and whatever comes through, comes through. We'll go into that in a second. But I wanna look here at the important dates. We've got May 21st, Gemini season begins. 25th, Mars enters Aries. Mars enters Aries, we just talked about. May 29th, which is tomorrow, Venus enters Taurus. I love this. Venus loves being in Taurus. So this is such a good time to like treat yourself, get your hair did, like indulge. Obviously, like don't go, crazy, but it's like, get some chocolate, chill the fuck out. This is also a really good time to figure out how to become more steady and more structured with your finances, because Taurus, again, connected to resources, finances, manifestation, and Venus being there is going to bring a lot of good luck. So if you look at Venus in Taurus, she's going to help all of those resources expand. How do you do that? You use the Mercury energy of Gemini season to get out and to connect with new people, connect ideas, brainstorm, talk to everybody, talk to the milkman, I don't even know if we have milkmen anymore, but whatever, talk to everyone, just talk to whoever the fuck you can, share your ideas. You don't want to get you could get very gossipy and kind of me this season. So just don't even tune into that. Just be like, I'm not dealing with this energy. Instead, I'm going to channel it into creative joy. Six of Cups is very Gemini energy, which is just childlike joy and curiosity, get out, tasting new things, trying new things. So as you're doing that, you're going to meet new people. And those new people could very well be people who either directly bring you resources or connect you to somebody who can bring you resources, because Venus in Taurus is going to want to expand all of that opportunity for us. Also a really good time to meet people in love, etc. Or if you're in love, to rewrite the stories around love. Again, with that Mercury retrograde, do we have this energy of, I'm scared, or I'm controlling in relationships, or I'm projecting fear from past relationships or old stories. It's now's the time to just let them go. Let those fucking stories go and move into this Venus in Taurus Gemini season energy with I'm writing a new story about love and how beautiful my love is, Somebody asked, how is Six of Cups related to Gemini? Because it's a 6, first of all, and June is a 6. So that's just a Gemini number. But secondly, it's siblings or children. The picture, I don't know if I have a Six of Cups readily available, but the picture is 2 children, and they're sharing. Actually, one of them is presenting the other one with a cup full of flowers. And it represents just childlike joy and lovely energy. It's very Gemini to just be I just want to get out there and experience life, and I want to laugh, and I want to giggle, and I want to be silly. Today I bought Care Bear underwear and a pink shirt with all the Care Bears on it, and I was gonna wear it, but then I was in the bath for way too long and I just threw on a sweater. But that's very Gemini energy. It's just let the inner child out, just play, have fun. So the Six of Cups is one of the only cards with children on it. And it's very joyful. It's very emotionally satisfying. And it's very it's one person offering someone else something else. So it's what do you have to offer? What do you get in return? How do you connect and share? That's a very Gemini higher vibrational quality. The last thing is the new moon in Gemini, which is on May 30th. This is a great new moon for inviting in, again, new connections, new people. I'll do the new moon workshop. It's pay what you can. So drop $1 in there and take that one. That'll be on Monday, or maybe I put it up tomorrow. So I'm not going to talk about that too much. And then we've also got Mercury stationing direct, and that's on June 3rd. I have it here. And then we have a full moon in Sagittarius. So a lot coming up around our belief systems, because Sagittarius rules our higher knowledge, our higher belief system. So again, how do you right now rewrite those stories? And around that full moon, I invite you to really question what's coming up. What old stories, what old belief systems are coming up during this time that are ready for release? I was just flipping that Seven of Cups reverse. It's I'm not falling into the fantasy of it. I'm not falling into the illusion of whatever it is that I've been telling myself for so long, or that others have told me, you know what I mean? Especially behind it with the 5 of Coins, because I'm not living in this suffering anymore. I don't want to live in this pain or in this old story. It doesn't bring me joy. So why do I keep telling myself it? Okay. I think that's good. That's just 40 minutes of me yelling in your direction about Gemini energy. So I hope you got some notes. We're going to send out the downloadable workbook. I know this is a lot of info all at once, but that's the goal, to just inform you and let you digest. So you can watch this back as many times as you need to. Yeah, I hope that helped. I am now going to light this incense. If you guys want to get comfortable, you can stay seated, you can lay down. We're going to do a meditation. I'll keep it at most 10 minutes. And then we'll do a Q&A for the last 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah, so if you want to lay back or sit down, close your eyes, get comfortable. Of course, if you're deaf, keep your eyes open so you can see. Okay, I am going to, our guides are already here, but we're just going to ask them to step forward once again. So any and all of our highest vibrational guides that are here with honorable intention to help bring to our knowledge the things that we need to release and the things that we need to enhance, the things that we need to integrate. We are open to receiving those high vibrational messages during this time. I'm going to light this incense, and I ask that this energy also connects with everybody who is watching this live or the recording, that they receive this Reiki infused energetic blessing. So we're going to start with 3 deep breaths. So let's just inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 2 more. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release, 2, 3, 4. And see if you can just get 10% more relaxed. If you can really trust that the earth is holding you, if you can sink a little bit deeper into your body, into your own energy, into your seat or your floor as we inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm intentionally not using any music or anything for this. So I just want you to sit and feel. Feel into the quiet. What do you hear in your environment? What do you smell? What do you feel in your body? How's your energy currently? Are you calm? Are you distracted? Are you anxious or worried or hopeful? Just checking in with yourself, and you don't need to judge it or try to fix it. Stop trying to fix it. Just look at it. And I want you to keep that in mind as we begin to look at a couple things in our lives. We don't need to fix them or judge them right now. I just want you to see what comes up and maybe where you feel that in the body, because Gemini rules the nervous system. So maybe when you see certain people or experiences through this meditation, you'll feel it somewhere. So just be aware of that. So the first thing I want you to think of is friends that we're creating distance with, or that we're slowly moving away from. They can be acquaintances, just people that you feel have a negative influence in your life at the moment. What are the old stories or the ideas around these people that don't serve you? Is there someone who needs to go, or is there just behaviors and boundaries that need to change in that connection? Now I want you to imagine releasing this person or this version of the relationship and stepping into something that feels better. Maybe there's no visual, but you can just feel that in the body, what it feels like to have people you can trust, to have people who show up for you on time, people who are excited to share with you. This is new versions of your friends, or maybe this is new friends, new connections, new ideas, new community. So I want you to feel how good it feels to connect with those types of people. And we're going to inhale and lock that vibration into our auric field. So let's inhale, 2, 3, 4. So we attract in these new connections, and we exhale, releasing all of the old connections that no longer serve us. Now I want you to think about work or projects, situations where you feel it's not an equal give and take, where you're putting in too much and you're not compensated fairly, you're not appreciated or credited properly. Connections that feel more draining than serving. Projects or people that are depleting your energy. And in your mind, you could just either create space, you could push them away energetically, you could cut a cord. And as they clear out, we have extra space to invite in projects and jobs and opportunities that enhance your life. So what do those look like? What do those feel like? Maybe for some of you, it's actually not a time to make new connections. Maybe you just want rest. And those are the new connections that you need to make. Community, people who are just there to hold space for you and with you. Maybe it's both. You want some work, you also want some new rest. So what is it? What does it feel like? I want you to feel that in your body, like you can actually relax into these connections and the abundance is flowing towards you and you're excited to put your time and your energy into these projects. I want you to feel that you love your job, that you love the expansion of these opportunities. I want you to feel that money coming towards you, that you've got it. And we're going to lock this energy into our auric field. We're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release any of those draining connections, releasing any of those people or projects that are depleting us. And now the last thing I want you to think about is intimate connections that can be love, it can be family. What comes to mind when you need to change something about these relationships? Are you sacrificing too much of yourself for others? Are you sacrificing your joy for others? And how do you do that? Do you just keep saying yes? Do you just keep dropping your boundaries? Where is it and how is it that you're not being honest with yourself or with these other individuals? Now, I want you to think of either clearing these people away or clearing out this version of that relationship. I want you to create an image around this type of energy and just put it on a whiteboard and then just erase the whiteboard and clear it off. That's the image they're showing me right now in my mind. And I want you to then take a marker and I want you to draw on the whiteboard what feels good. What does a happy relationship look like? What do healthy connections look like? It can be a little stick family. It can just be hearts and stars. It can be flowers or whatever it is, but What does it feel like to be empowered by your choices? What does it feel like to have better boundaries, to make the change, to prioritize yourself? And I want you to feel that you are connected to others, that you are intimate with others, and that you feel proud of yourself for standing up for yourself, for creating healthier boundaries, that you feel at peace, that you feel respected, and maybe pleasantly surprised that people will actually respect your boundaries when you set them. And as we invite in these higher vibrational, intimate connections, we're going to lock this energy into our auric field. So we're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release, 2, 3, 4. So we clear out any energetic cords that hold us back. You can imagine your energetic field just shaking and vibrating at a pace where all of those cords are dropping and disconnecting. I want you to feel if there's a noticeable difference in your body or in your energetic fields. What's changed? And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into this space. And of course, you can come back and do this meditation at any time, not just through Gemini season. And we will basically wrap up the workshop with that. We will take a couple questions for the last 5 minutes. And yeah, I hope that helps. I'm going to shuffle one of these oracle cards and just see what comes up. But if anyone is looking to ask a question that is try to keep the questions more general, please, for everyone. I have a whiteboard literally in this room full of stuff I have to do, etc. So much. I don't want to do a lot. I'm about to erase the whole thing and draw this manifested future. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Vision boards. Yes, I am so making a vision board. I love that. Okay, transformation just flew out of the deck when we talked about vision boards. And the other one, oh my God, and it's a 6. I love that because we just talked about the 6s being connected to Gemini. This one is spider and weaving, and she's got scissors and she looks like she's about to throw a little vision board together. Actually, I love that. So yeah, I definitely am into vision boards. It's really, really helpful to focus your energy on that. I'm into, I don't usually put like words and stuff on there. I just kind of throw a bunch of photos on it. And yeah, I'm gonna actually, like I bought a bunch of stuff today to start making one because again, my birthday's coming up. So I want to do one for like the year ahead. But vision boards, great idea. We're moving through transformation. We've got the butterfly card here. We're about to spread our wings and fly. So like, who do you want to become? You know what I mean? Those vision boards are going to be great for that. Question here from Mike. I've noticed a lot of drastic changes in the lives of the people around me. Is there something about this year that is pushing massive change in what we all value and want from the last, say, 4 or 5 years? Yeah, absolutely. Because we are now moving through, well, we're just going through like deep collective purging in general, especially with COVID and like all these other things. Like there is so much forcing people to now break free of what they've been doing. And like Pluto retrograding in Capricorn. Capricorn is old systems, old belief systems. It's like old government, old systems, like those large bodies, but it's also in our lives, like what governs our everyday, what are our habits, our behaviors. So like Pluto retrograding there is really transforming all of that on such a deep level. And then on top of that, last year we had the South Node, which is like the butthole of the universe where like everything gets like sucked out and like shat out, and like the North Node is like where all the new energy comes in. So the North Node was in Gemini, which was like asking new questions, free thinking, thinking for ourselves, and not just believing everything that comes towards us. Like that literally happened through the entire pandemic. And then the South Node was on Sagittarius, which was like deeply purging the old belief systems, old, even like religion, for example. Like people don't think of religion the same way that they used to. Like we don't think that God is like sitting on a cloud, spiting people, shooting them down and sending them to hell because they're gay. It's like, then why did you make me gay? It doesn't make sense. So it's like, obviously our belief systems around so many things are changing, and that's collectively. And now you move us into this Taurus Scorpio eclipse axis, which is like, our resources are changing. What we want with our money is changing. How we want to invest our time. Taurus is connected to Venus. What we want from our love relationships, what we want from our friendships, like all of those things are changing. We're reinventing them. We're creating new structures around that. That's the North Node. And the South Node is in Scorpio. So it's like those deep fears are coming up for release. The old subconscious programs are coming up for release. So it's like, yes, absolutely deep, profound change is happening for the entire planet, whether they are fighting it or not. But like, that's why there are so many light workers that have chosen to come through during this time, like myself being one of them, and likely the majority of people here, to help increase that vibration and hold a higher vibration for a lot of the people that are going through these changes, because unfortunately they are mentally and energetically, I was going to say so far behind. It's not, that's not how you look at it. It doesn't work like behind or ahead, but they're just not where they need to be. Let's say, like, they're not holding the vibration that they need to hold to allow the planet to hold the vibration it needs to hold to expand into where it needs to go. So like, yes, the reason that people are going through deep, drastic change, especially if you're a Sagittarius, or especially if you are a Scorpio or a Gemini or a Taurus, like those 4 signs over the last 2 years and for the next year and a half are going to be really, really shooken. Or if you have any of those placements as your like moon sign or your rising sign, or if you have a lot of planets in those houses, like your chart's very specific to you, but anybody who's kind of got a mix of any of those 4 signs is definitely going to be shifted. But again, like, we're all feeling it. Like, you don't need to be a Scorpio to be feeling this deep fucking stuff that's happening right now. Like, I have no Scorpio in my chart, and like these eclipses are like, they shake you. I'm going to read one more question, and then because I know the interpreter is still here, and it's not easy to interpret for an hour straight at my speed by herself. How do we flex or read energy for signs that are on true cusp days? Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna pick a different question, but if you are a cusp, you should literally read both or watch both horoscopes, or because you're literally like the blend of both energies. So there really, really, truly could be messages in both of those for you. And of course, always just like self-monitoring yourself. Like, does this feel real? Do I resonate with this? If yes, perfect. That's probably a message for me. If you're like, this doesn't make any sense, or this is triggering a lot of fear in me, that's also probably not for you. You know what I mean? How do you deal with feeling like you took the wrong turn and ended up someplace you shouldn't have? And how do you get back on track? Okay, so this goes back to that Lover's card, where it's like, there is no wrong turn. And that is what's so fucked up about being here in this planetary school, is like, there is no wrong turn. Like, if you think you missed it, you didn't miss it. You just, for whatever reason, weren't ready. You probably were not a vibrational match at that time to choose the other way, if that makes sense. And if you had chosen the other way, any of the blessings or abundance that would have come with that, you wouldn't have been able to hold anyways. So in that moment, quote unquote, choosing the wrong way, you just felt internally that you weren't actually ready to hold what that next, path would have opened. and you decided to cycle back through so that you could like, you know, attune yourself a little bit better, so that you could go through those lessons again, so that you could really tell yourself and teach yourself that you're like, wow, I'm really mastering this lesson. I'm really mastering this, this cycle. And yeah, sometimes we do like, there's a hiccup or we like feel like we fall off track, for example, but it's like, if you were meant to be somewhere, you would be there. If you were meant to have something, you would have it. It doesn't mean that you won't ever get there, and it doesn't mean that you won't ever have it. But like where you are right now is literally exactly where you're supposed to be, because you are meant to be in this space, tuning your frequency and mastering certain lessons, mastering certain boundaries, mastering certain things, so that when you get to the space that you think you should be at, you can actually handle it. And that's only the energetic side of things. Separate from that, we're also clearing a lot of karma. So there's a whole karmic side of things. So even if you're going back through something, you're just going back through to clear the karma at a deeper level. Third, physically, you need to also upgrade your nervous system, which is another Gemini season quality. Your nervous system, like for you to actually manifest something, to hold the love of your life, to hold $1 million, to hold a, you know, fame and fortune, it's like whatever it is that you're trying to attach to, which is not good, don't attach to anything, but like whatever it is that you're trying to bring into your energetic field and to literally manifest, if your body is not ready, if your nervous system is not ready to actually accept it into the field and to hold it and maintain it, then you're going to fuck it all up. So like you need to literally, and that's why you have to do the shadow work. That's why we need to purge these subconscious programs. That's why we need to do the affirmations. That's why you need to do breath work. That's why you need to be doing the new moon, the full moon workshops. Like, I don't just do these things because I'm like trying to make $1. Like I do these things because I'm literally trying to help people increase their energetic vibration and also clear out any of the physical bullshit and blocks that are not going to allow their physical body to actually maintain the vibration. Because if your nervous system can't be upgraded, then you're not going to hold it. You're like, it may come to you, but you'll stumble, you'll drop it. Like you won't be able to physically hold it in the 3D realm. So I don't think you made the wrong turn. I think there was probably certain things in there that you needed to master, that you needed to see again from a different perspective or from a higher perspective. And I think that you probably needed to learn how to train and elevate your nervous system so that when you receive what you really want, you don't ruin it, you don't destroy it. The only other thing, and this again is connected to the nervous system, but more specifically to shadow work, is like, do you really truly think that you deserve what you want? Do you think that you can actually handle it? Because if you have these deep programs, these self-sabotaging tendencies or ideas, then again, once you get there, you will get it. You'll get the $1 million and you'll fucking spend it all, or you'll invest it all poorly and you'll lose it. You'll get the fame and you'll fuck it up. You'll get the lover and you'll project your insecurities onto them and they'll think you're crazy and they'll leave you. It's like, you need to be doing the breath work. You need to be going into the subconscious and clearing the shadows. You need to be doing all of it. Like you can't have one without the other. You can't have the dream without upgrading the body. You can't, have, you can't have it. I don't know how else to say it. So yeah, I don't think that you made the wrong turn. I think that you probably had to see something from a different perspective and that you are readying your body for when you move into a space of actually making the quote unquote right decision, so that when you make that decision and then you receive it, you can actually maintain it and build on it. And you're not just receiving it and dropping it and stumbling over it, and then you fall apart twice as bad as you were before that, because now you feel bad that you just fucked it up too. You know what I mean? It's like, so yeah, I think that you're in Gemini season. Rewrite the story, let go of the fucking idea, let go of the perspective that you fucked it up, that you turned the wrong way, that you lost the person, it's like, stop limiting yourself in those ways. Stop creating that self-limiting belief that it's like, oh, I already lost my opportunity. I already lost this person. I lost the money or the love of my life. It like my chance is gone. It's like, okay, well then if you believe that, then your chance is gone and you've already lost. Whereas if you're like, I meant to do that, like it was a higher power trying to like really teach me something and I got it clear as day. It's coming through now. I've like upgraded, I'm moving forward and I won't do that again. And then don't and like walk the fucking talk and write the new story. You know what I mean? Um, Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna do just like an hour Q&A one day because there's a lot of people who always just drop so many questions in here, and I get a lot of um, questions on IG. So maybe we'll just do like a Q&A day one day, and then we can all just dump our questions and get through it. But I'm sending you guys so much love. Happy birthday to me and any other Gemini out there. We'll give you guys another minute or two if you want to put in your Instagrams, your emails, if you want to make some friends in the chat. I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to let the interpreter go and I'm going to stop the recording. Also, we are opening a store, 2 stores, but one of them is in Canada. So if anyone is interested in collaborating with us, if you're a healer, a teacher, yoga, tarot, breathwork, sound bowl, whatever. The shop is like 40 minutes west of Toronto. And yeah, it's going to be called Inward, just like my company. And yeah, look at my Instagram because we put up a little like join our team and there's an email there. We've already got a bunch of applications, which I love. But Daniela is going to be coming to Canada on my behalf, and she's going to work with our Canadian team to set up the healing space and do some interviews. I'll obviously hop on Zoom and do what I can. I'm staying in Portugal because we're also just moving into construction on a shop here, which is also a healing space. So yeah, if anyone is in Canada, more specifically Dundas, Ontario, or Hamilton, Ancaster, Toronto, Burlington, that sort of area, and you're interested in joining our team or collaborating, please check out, actually, Danny, can you just type into the chat? I think it's connect.with.inward. Is it? One second. I want to say it on here so everyone can write it down. Yeah, connect.with.inward@gmail.com is our email. You can just shoot us an email there and like, this is who I am, this is what I do. We're also looking for just like a house manager or somebody who wants to like curate different events, etc. And of course, we're going to have some like commission-based sales stuff in there. So if you pull together some workshops or events, then like we'll compensate you for your time and energy so that we can all grow in abundance together, because we're past the days of like, you get $10 an hour and we get everything else. It's just like not cute. Yeah, so that is that. I'm going to sign off now. Thank you, Amanda, for your time. And everybody else, have a lovely Gemini season. Your workbook and recording will be sent out tomorrow, and I am going to sign off now. Okay, sending you all the love. Ciao, 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 ciao.